Okay, dude, fuck it. Game Awards time. Once again, when there's like one thing that's going on, there is absolutely 0% chance I could do anything else. Everyone is being cringe and cancer as fuck. It's Game Awards time. Sorry. We are going to watch the Game Awards, okay? I can't deal with it. I know there's 20 minutes left, but they're already showing stuff, and nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to miss out on a single second of my fucking soy-facing ad! Oh, Bob! That's it! Game Awards!
I can't even focus on this anymore because all you motherfuckers keep talking about the PlayStation event. Fuck you, dude. Fucking leave the fucking channel. Fuck, mommy. Sorry. Mommy. Sorry. Mommy. Sorry. Mommy. Sorry. Fucking mommy. Sorry. Mommy. Sorry.
Dude, Megaphonics is literally just like hitting the levels of parasocial that previously people had never heard of before. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from kind of cloudy, kind of gloomy California, Los Angeles. Folks, we're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MVs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is Sunday, Fun Day. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday. It's April 27, 2025, 11:35 a.m. And I'm actually early for a Sunday because if I'm live at all on a Sunday, that's a bonus, baby. That's a bonus for you. But yeah, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of HasanAbi Piker in between the time period where I press the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button. So help me God. And last night I ended the broadcast, and what did I do? How much you pay for your fluff piece? Just a good suck job, dude. And what did I do? I jerked off? No, I did not. I shot an episode of the Fear and podcast, as always, of course. That's right. We had a very special Fear and Wine About It collabo. We did a Fear and Wine About It collabo. That's what we did. It was a really, really, really funny and really good episode. Austin made it. Yes. Yeah, he made it. He made it this time. He's on the pod. Don't worry. Hasan, you need to get a Protect the Doll shirt? Yeah, I'd rip one for sure. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed it. But yeah, we did Maya Crash Dummies collabo earlier in the day on stream because that was a fun little collabo. And then after the Fear and pod, I was gonna go take the boys out to KBBQ, but everybody bailed one by one. So it was just me and Cutie remaining because Maya doesn't eat red meat. So we just kind of canceled it. And it was good though. It was good to cancel it because my dad, before he left a bunch of like chocolate brownies and shit, and I had one of them. I could not control my urges last night, and I had some chocolate. I had a chocolate brownie and some cookies, and honestly, it was good that we didn't go to get KBBQ because then I just like packed it up with some protein and I went to bed.
I was really libbed up, but your content over the past few weeks has really helped me combat my default acceptance of positions presented by the Democrat establishment. Me and my wife are sliding down the left radicalization pipeline. Hell yeah. But yeah, that's all I did. I went to sleep. When I read the New York Times this morning, not only were you in it, you were on the front page. Not anymore, Sag. Peak normie lib exposure. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. Thank you. But yeah, yo. Woke up this morning early. Took Fifi and Kai Kai to the dog park. That was fun. And played some ball. Played some basketball. And I was cooking. Here, let me look at my Instagram stories real quick, show you. Yeah, I posted, I'm in the paper of record. They posted me with the Mike Tyson face tat in a tank top on the paper of record, chat. Getting posterized. Yeah, we made it to the New York Times. I'll talk about that, of course. But then here is... Come on, get her. Get her. Kaya. Kaya, get her. God, I love how fat she is. She is the fattest dog of all time. And she is so perfect. She really is. She is the fattest dog of all time. Duking it out. Fiona's beating her ass.
How you feel, Brody?
Feel pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was dying this morning. I played like 8 full court pickup basketball games on the concrete. Legs are so busted. I'm so tired right now. I didn't do bully ball too much, but a little bit of bully ball for sure. But god damn, dude, look at these stats. I went on for 2 hours and 11 minutes, okay, nonstop. Total calories burned in that time is 1,900. Average heart rate is only 141 because the first 25 to 30 minutes of it is just me walking around in the park. So then the rest of it is at like 185 beats per minute, which is crazy.
Played a bunch of games, won a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Put our heart and soul out there, you know, on Sunday on Lord's Day.
Lord's Day.
I got stepped on my ingrown toenails, and now I'm pretty cooked. I can't even walk straight, but it's all good.
All good.
What's up, boys? I'm live and alive. But yeah, bro, you're so exhausted that your shoulders slumped and you look like you have normal shoulders in that story. You listen to music as you ball? No. How would I be... Bro, how would I be able to listen to music while playing full court basketball? It requires collaboration, communication. It's a game. Will true height work if you're 40? What's true height? What is this?
Are getting smart.
Oh, spectacles. The silent coup is working. Really good video about silent authoritarianism by hopefully not a CIA shill. This guy, isn't this guy like a dengist or something? He's like anti-Mao, pro-Deng, anti-Xi. You have listened to NPR instead of music, don't you? Yeah, I do. Aren't the Apple Watch, but more generally smartwatch calorie trackers highly inaccurate? Yes. They're not. They're not accurate. But there's like a level that I try to stay above in terms of my daily calorie burn. Terrorist attack in Vancouver last night? Wait, what? What the hell? What the helly? I did not know that. Yeah, that he's hitting you with a dang stare. But yeah, after that, I went over. Was not a terrorist attack. It wasn't terrorist. Wait, what happened? What was it? Not terrorist. It was down the road for me. What happened? It was just like a mass shooting or something. I mean, it's Vancouver, so maybe mass stabbing. Vehicle lost control. Okay, we'll look at it later. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. But What was I gonna say? Bro's looking sleep deprived? No, I slept like a baby. It's just I also ran for 2 hours straight. I played like five back-to-back non-stop games of pickup basketball, full court pickup basketball. So that's why I'm really tired. Shit, what was I gonna look up? Now I'm just like forgetting stuff. Did you watch second season of Andor yet? No, I watched the first episode for like a little bit, and I just couldn't get into it. But I'll get back into it eventually. Police say not a terrorist attack, but mental health issue. Okay. You think the new Louis Theroux on the Israeli settlers will be good or bad? It will be very good. Are you kidding me? Wait, when is this? Wait, is this available already? Yo, we gotta rip this. I will rip this today. I will rip this. If this is available, I will watch this on stream. Without a fucking telly license. Without a telly license. What I was gonna do is, I'm gonna talk about the New York City woman that was Jewish that got attacked by rabid Zionists with an Israeli passport too. I'll talk about that obviously today. I'll blast off. But in terms of personal news, there was one other thing. Obviously, this morning, I went and I got a copy of the New York Times to myself.
Sunday,
Here
folks.
it is.
It's a good Sunday today. Good time to go pick up a copy of the New York Times to see the Sunday style section for no reason. For those of you who don't know, this is what is known as a newsstand. That's right, they sell newspapers and magazines here. It's like online, but on print.
If you need to check it out and make sure it's got it, you can order it up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I will. Hold on. Yeah, let's do it actually.
Cool, yeah.
Let's open it up. See if the Sunday
Bam.
style section.
There it is.
Okay.
Dude. You got some in this one?
There it is. Look at that.
Okay, legend.
My first time buying a
He had no idea who I was at first. Like when I was pointing to it, he's like, "What? Oh, okay."
newspaper in years.
That's right. See what? Is that your boy in the article?
In the article?
Yeah.
No, it's me.
That's you, huh? I had a feeling. I was like, yeah. Where did I hear you? You was on. I've seen you on a few podcasts, I believe.
Maybe.
You got
Theo
a cool,
Vaughn?
Yeah, dude, I love Theo Vaughn. You doing card?
Apple Pay.
Yeah, you got a cool mind, bro.
Thank you.
Like
There you have it, folks. Right below the fold. Living and eating in the hyper flavor era. Across the great streamer divide. There it is.
Of course, it was Theo Vaughn. No, he actually told me after. He loves Schultz. Yeah. New boy, Israel strikes Beirut. We got so much. We got so much primo today. How you always have to have the shirt off but can't sit in the tub with Austin? It's not the same. It's not the same when my shirt is off with, I control the shirt off situation. Tweet from the author of the New York Times piece. Yeah. Back in January, I did leg day with Hasan the Hun for New York Times Styles, hoping to figure out what it means to be a left-wing man in a red-pilled world. Yeah. It's great. We're obviously going to read the article. But devoid of substance, pushback, and critical thinking, one has to wonder, how much does something like this cost? The majority of your other work is quite good, to be honest. And wait, what is this? Perhaps due diligence in the future would prevent you from looking like a paid shill. Unfortunately, it's a little late for that. Here's a clip of some pro-terrorist dog whistles less than 24 hours old, which should be setting alarm bells in your head because you clearly... You know what's really funny about this? Like this guy thinks that a whole ass reporter for the Rolling Stones and New York Times does not have like any worldview whatsoever, that he is so silly and so malleable that he is going to look at like a stalker account and go, oh my God, what have I done? What a devastating mistake for me. Yeah. Thank God. These guys do the real journalism now, you know? The right is already getting harassed since a certain person posted them on his IG. No nice things are allowed to be said about you. Yeah. They kind of did you dirty on the cover. Why? What do you mean? Chat, look at this right now. What is this? What? What the hell is this? Chat, look at this right now. What's more important, your view on politics or the man you love in a relationship? Not saying you love me. It's just a general question. Why? I'll find someone I can do both with because that's who I am. And I've been in relationships with conservatives. I don't want to do that again. I know some people can, but I don't think I can do that without pissing you off all the time. Ha ha ha. I'll be honest with you, Carlin. No man you're sexually attracted to is going to ever want to hear about the far left agenda. Why? Because you're attracted to manly men, and manly men do not believe in far left ideas. Sorry, but it is the truth. I'm attracted to girls too. There you go. Perf. Yeah, that's right. Only manly man. Busted open 420. A hit tweet. Yeah, that's right. Only homosexual man. OG HasanAbi girly. Busted open 420. You like manly man. You like manly man. And that's right. You should have sent him the MAGA body article and been like, that's a manly man. What the fuck is a MAGA body? And how do I make sure to never achieve this build? Yeah, you were exposed on Instagram. I know. Are you showing the Maya fucking slander, dude? I cannot believe she's slandering me this hard. I DM'd her. I was like, yo, I have enough fucking haters to begin with. What are you doing to me? I know a lot of you are obsessed with this guy, but in real life, you guys everything know he's actually so stinky. I'm sorry, but this guy actually smells like Dookie, and everyone says it. You may not believe me, and that's fine. I just feel like someone needed to finally come out and say something. He's exposing me. My goat stinks. I smell so fucking good. It's crazy. I have a bro, my family is out of control. Okay. I said, can y'all pick up a copy of the New York Times today? Check out the Sunday style section. My mom, who is almost 60 years old at this point, said, where can I get a copy? Like, my mom is asking me where she can purchase a copy of a newspaper. What is happening? How? Like, Mom, go to a newsstand. That is crazy. Valid, who reads newspapers, dog? It's true. Saw this comment on one of your videos on Bilibili. People like him should be quickly recruited, and we can't let him raise an average IQ of Americans. Go to YouTube and urge him to come to China as soon as possible. Translated. Oh my God, that's amazing. Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll start off with the New York Times article. Obviously, we'll get to reading on the New York Times article, obviously, because that's crazy. I read it this morning. It was like 11 minutes long. It's not super long. Article was written like a long ass time ago, but it finally came out. I assume there was some setbacks considering some of my statements about Israel that had to go through that I suspect I had to go through a rigorous editorial process, which, you know, a rigorous editorial process where they had to figure out how to anyway. We'll write it. We'll read it. Are you caught up with One Piece anime? No, I haven't. I've been holding. How's your pinky injury healing? I don't know. I mean, it's fine. It's just kind of there. Can you see? I don't know. I wash it with soap and water, and I try to keep it as protected as possible. Anyway, yeah, let's do it. Okay. and the media is silent. Zionist beat up Jewish anti-Zionists and the media is silent. I'm in the New York Times. Sunday Styles. You forgot the Daily Mirror selfie king? Yeah, I don't know. You groomed the 40-year-old reporter? Yeah. Zionist beat up Jews. I'm in the New York Times. Sunday Styles. There was so much that I wanted to talk about. What is happening now? I'm like forgetting. Can we watch the CNN interview when? What CNN interview? Hasan Latvia is watching. Hell yeah. Did you see the photo they ran in their daily newsletter, bro? Yeah, Kaya. Kaya's in it. Big dog. Big dog is in it. Can you please cover E's crash out over the New York Times? I'm dying laughing at how insane it is. I will probably not do that. I mean, good for him, I guess. I don't know. I'm in the New York Times Sunday. Okay. Zionist beat up Jews, anti-Zionist, the media is silent. What the fuck was I gonna say? There are like 8 IG stories. Why is he losing his mind so hard? God damn. Just, bro, it's Sunday, man. Have fun with your family. What are you doing? I don't. Biggest bank CEO might know who you are now. Look at my last message. Something I thought you'd find interesting. I work in cybersecurity at one of the largest financial institutions in the world. We recently had 2K emails go to our C execs to revoke Kneecap's visa, and they reference your stream at Coachella. Keck W. Wait, what? You work at cybersecurity at one of the largest financial institutes in the world. We recently had 2,000 plus emails go to our C-level execs to revoke Kneecap's visa, and they reference your stream at Coachella. Dude, there is only one speed for people who love Israel, dude, and it's like perma crash out. There's no like reasonable discourse. It's just like, this person said fuck Israel, we have to kill him. Please, can you kill him, please? Can you please like stop him from using financial tools? Can you please stop him from being able to exist in society? It's like, bro, what are you guys doing, man? Fucking dial it back, dude. Dial it back. It's like they don't even care about trying to defend the indefensible. They just immediately go, why would you ever talk positively about someone who has said Israel is a fucked up country? This is so messed up, dude. How dare you? How freaking dare you? It's an instant situation. It's just like, there's one speed only. What is this? Sorry to drama farm, but E's using a big ass. Okay, dude. You guys are really going to force me to cover this. What is it? Ethan Klein using a massive emoji in his Insta story to block out the part of the article where Hasan says, I find anti-Semitism to be completely acceptable, is so fucking shameless. What a sad little man. Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't just show that. Do you see this? I hope CNN reaches out. Damn, Brian Stelter posted about me? That's crazy. Says the mask on Marxist-Leninist. Okay, listen. Let me just fucking blast off, please. Oh my God, we'll do it. Louis Theroux settlers. Okay. Don't go react. I told you my cousin wasn't trolling. Bro, your cousin is not Brian Stelter, okay? Calm down. I told you I wasn't BSing about you being on CNN. Dude, Brian Stelter posting my my New York Times article doesn't mean your cousin actually did a piece on me on the New York Times. I mean, on CNN. Also, I don't know. Bro, they had these images side by side. They hate you so much. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. This is pretty chaotic. It's nowhere. Actually, that's not true. It's pretty fucking chaotic back here still. Not great. Settlers ain't been ripped yet. All right. Do we have a blast off meme? I'll just use this fucking image, blast off meme. All right, let's just go. Let's just go read this article. They're so mad. Who is this? Everything about this headline and fawning puff piece viscerally disgusts me. Why are we yielding the word progressive to people who daydream about Houthis destroying their country? Why spend a whole column sucking up to him? Why call fitness MAGA? Every bit is wretched. Richard Hanania is mad. Oh no. The new liberal media darling who is an out and about eugenicist white supremacist is mad at me for getting positive coverage over the New York Times. I thought he hated the Trump administration. Maybe he should lock in and respect the number one hater of Donald Trump in perpetuity. Because I've been in the motherfucking trenches, Richard Hanania. Is the article linked anywhere from the New York Times front page or lifestyle section? I can't find it. It's great. It seems like this has pissed off all of the people. Bad Empanada called you a toy of the system in his YouTube community post. Yeah, I know. I mean, good. I didn't know that, but I'm not shocked by it. You guys don't have to keep us up to date. No, it's fine. It's all good. All right. Here, we're blasting off, chat. Let's go. Where is it? Where's the blast off meme? Here it is. She also told me Mr. Wolf Blitzer knows who you are. No. My cousin works at CNN and interning. She works with Stelter. She also told me Mr. Wolf Blitzer knows who you are. Oh, no. Wolf Blitzer knows who I am? The big dog? The big wolf? Oh! Does he know? Does he know I'm a big fan? I'm a fan of the big dog. He likes you, though. Not bad for a 40-year-old who can't dunk. What is this? First introduced your stream to my girlfriend the other day and everything seemed chill, but just yesterday she told me you were a horrible person and the video she watched was from none other than... Dude, I genuinely don't know what to say to people who are so malleable that they watch like one drama YouTube video and go, well, my whole worldview changed about this man. He seems to be a monster. Like, I forget that it makes me sad that people are so malleable and so susceptible to like they just don't ever exercise critical thinking or media literacy, and they certainly don't exercise media literacy when it comes to like, oh shit, I'm on the front page, dude. What the hell? Okay. People don't exercise media literacy when it comes to mainstream news, which is ironic because that's a big part of what I do, right? This is also part of the reason why I constantly rail on the New York Times, especially the paper of record, the Gray Lady, because my expectation is that they're supposed to uphold a very important standard, especially in a time when people need good news, like good newspaper coverage, good journalism more than ever, right? But a big part of what I do is to, one, go through the misinformation that is all around the internet and parse through it, and then try to explain to you what parts of these misinformation what kind of narratives are developing online, what kind of narratives are developing in the media, and to show you through real journalism and critical thinking what is actually going on, so you can develop a better so you can develop a better framework, right? And this pisses off a lot of people. What? Who's your manager? I want to hire them. You're doing so well. None of this is because of my management. I don't have like a PR person. This is entirely because people reach out. Okay? These are journalists who themselves reach out, or editorial teams themselves who reach out. Like, I love my management, and my management is great. But this is just people directly reaching out to do interviews. Like, you're calm down. It's the New York Times. You're acting like it's Global Times or CGTN. Okay, calm down. In any case, a progressive mind and a MAGA body. The title is okay. The editor, HasanAbi Head, who's an editor in the chat, was not wrong. This is the title, because she said the title is kind of cringe, but the article is actually pretty good. And yeah, let's do it. Certain someone is convinced someone is paying off all these journalists to make puff pieces about you. Yes, dude, it's Qatar. Okay, it's Qatar. I control the media. Okay, I control the media. I have my tentacles in all of these outlets, dude. It can't be that like adult journalists that simply know more than a fucking dumbass YouTube drama slop tube channel have their own fucking convictions, and perhaps maybe even see me as an entry point to basically evade the pre-existing censors within these institutions, you know? But yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that, you know, adults that have their own, you know, that have their own perspectives on these issues don't see what I'm saying in 30-second increments and then fucking place themselves in a paranoid state, and instead understand what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I control the media. So, a progressive mind and a MAGA body. Article headline is not the best. Okay, article headline is not, you know, it's kind of weird because I feel like MAGA body, that's going to piss off a lot of people. I think what they meant there wasn't necessarily like your physical body. I think what they were saying is like MAGA packaging. You know what I mean? I think that would have been probably a better title for this instead of a progressive mind and a MAGA body. If they said progressive mind and a MAGA package or something, or in a bro package or a manosphere package, that makes a little bit more sense. But they condensed the headline. And I'm going to explain to you guys how these sorts of news bits happen, how these sorts of puff pieces or profiles take place. Hopefully this will be educational. I'll tell you like what, you know, some parts that are left out of it versus like what the editorial process looks like to the best of my ability. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not, you know, I'm not talking to the journalists who wrote this piece beyond whenever they call in for follow-ups, right? So articles written by Jack Crosby. He's very cool. He's a very chill guy. He is, you know, he's a leftist, obviously. Mostly writes in the Rolling Stones. He's written all around, however. And originally, the article is supposed to be like a major profile, but then obviously a lot of these other articles start coming in. Slate.com drops an article, and then obviously that kind of like cooks their angle because like everyone is trying to go for the same angle. And then the New York Magazine piece came out, and that was a very long profile. So then that that causes them to like push it back, restructure the article a little bit, and ultimately you arrive at this framing, right? But in any case, remember, the journalist doesn't choose the title. And the journalist doesn't even actually choose, in most circumstances, like, journalists will have feedback on which direction the article will go in, but they don't necessarily control the way that the article is going to be presented, right? That's the editorial team's decision. And let's be real, the New York Times' editorial team is not necessarily, now this is the style section, so it's different, but the New York Times' broader editorial team is probably not super fond of me. Like, they probably see me as an ally for being a unique figure in the space that is a progressive figure, like unconditionally progressive figure, if not a radical one, in a space that is dominated by, far right extremism, right? But outside of that, they do see that this is like, I'm clearly doing something that is unique enough for them to be like, let's offer this some coverage. But here it is. Hasan Piker pumps iron, likes weapons, and wears pearls. His brand of masculinity is one of many fans online and has been a useful vehicle for his politics. Hasan Piker has become a star on Twitch and YouTube for hosting hours-long video streams that cover cultural topics like fitness, gaming, and fashion, as well as his socialist politics. By Jack Crosby. Hasan Piker thinks being a man is simple. Like many of his successful internet personalities who appeal to a generation of young men, Mr. Piker, a 33-year-old Twitch and YouTube streamer, is a bro. He likes weapons, inhales supplements, uses nicotine pouches, and ruminates endlessly on the legacy of LeBron James. But unlike many of his contemporaries, Mr. Piker, an avowed socialist, is just as at ease dressing in French-made drag as he is on a basketball court. In the 6 years since he started his daily online broadcast about culture and politics, Mr. Piker has become a streaming star. He has about 4.5 million followers combined on YouTube and Twitch, the platform wildly popular with Americans who came of age during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the most reductive way, it just comes down to confidence. That's what people are talking about when it comes to masculinity, Mr. Piker said in an interview. They're talking about confidence. That confidence carries over into Mr. Piker's discussions of politics. On his streams, conversations about dating, gaming, or exercising often turn into rants supporting organized labor, universal health care, LGBTQ rights. He will just as frequently pivot from criticizing the Democratic Party or the Israeli government to slamming right-wing comedians. This fluency between culture and ideology has led many to brand Mr. Piker a Joe Rogan of the left, if Mr. Rogan had a mop top and painted his nails. Mr. Piker in his studio earlier this year, he knows his success on camera has been partly aided by the way he looks. Mr. Piker's success on camera, in some parts, has been aided by the fact that he is, by conventional standards, a very handsome man. He's 6 feet 4 inches tall and built like a professional athlete with a square jaw, a beard, and a head of thick, dark hair. It's the one aspect that many of my haters can't shake, Mr. Piker said of his appearance on a Twitch broadcast last year. They can't turn around and be like, you're not hot. His physique is the result of an intense fitness regimen that on a sunny morning in January involved repeated sets of squats with a 275-pound barbell, Romanian deadlifts, and walking lunges. Dude, that's it. I'm in the paper of record as being a hottie. It's over. It's ironic because, like a lot of those Sigma Grindset guys are constantly talking about regimens and being an alpha dog, Mr. Piker said, referring to subjects of memes about masculinity that are commonplace in right-wing discourse online, I do live that life, he added. But then I have the diametrically opposite politics. Protected by jock insurance. Indeed, tens of thousands of viewers may watch his videos for his political views, but so many also tune in for the view of Mr. Piker himself, whose social media profiles are littered with suggestive images of his muscly body in states of undress. What the heck is this? That's crazy. Or thirst traps, as the pictures are known. Some of his fans scrape, screenshot, clip, and repackage them into fan cams that travel across the internet, glorifying Mr. Piker's appearance and indirectly his beliefs. Emma Morgan, a 27-year-old researcher, is among them. A lot of people are just really shallow online, Ms. Morgan said. There's a stigma of, if you care about marginalized people, if you care about these issues, you must be a weak basement-dwelling dude. If I have to make a fan cam to radicalize people, she added, then I will. The HasanAbi TikTok, the HasanAbi Thirst Talk Clips Industrial Complex gets a shout out here. Yep. Lit up Emma. Mr. Piker approaches getting dressed with the same meticulousness as he does working out. Each day he streams, he typically posts a selfie of his outfit before he starts. His clothing choices can sometimes be as provocative as his opinions. On a recent trip to Japan, Mr. Piker wore a tight French maid's outfit, a pair of fuzzy cat ears, and a demure string of pearls while streaming from one of the country's maid cafes. During a Twitch stream in 2023, Mr. Piker asked viewers to participate in a live demographic survey. Those who did offered a sense of his audience. About 70% of the participants identified as male, more than 60% identified as being younger than 30, and about 40% identified as having a sexual orientation other than straight. Mr. Piker benefits from jock insurance. I've never heard this before, but it makes perfect sense, by the way, after I read the article. Said Tristan Bridges, a sociologist who studies masculinity and gender at the University of California, Santa Barbara. The term is used to describe how men with a lot of masculine gender capital are generally given more leeway to do things like challenge norms and make mistakes, he added. For an appearance at the 2024 TwitchCon convention, Mr. Piker wore a tank top that showed off his arms. The jocks are allowed to break the rules and not have a consequence for it, or not have consequences for it, Mr. Bridges said, adding that Mr. Piker's idea of masculinity was less rigid than more traditional versions centered on the belief that America was easier and better when everybody played the roles they were designed to play. Jordan Dean, a 19-year-old gender studies student who follows Mr. Piker, said that the part that he plays up the most is definitely that he's a bro, cisgender, heterosexual white guy. Mr. Dean, a transgender man, added, watching him be comfortable painting his nails, wearing dresses, is not revolutionary things, but he's showing that it's okay to be a cis guy and experiment with gender presentation. Gains, guns, and gay culture. Mr. Piker typically streams from a studio at his home in West Hollywood, California, a modern townhouse he shares with Kaya, his Bernese Mountain Dog mix that weighs more than 100 pounds. He can spend up to 10 hours a day recording in a studio where there are no fewer than 10 swords and shells festooned with video game art and other knickknacks. There's also a black assault rifle, which Mr. Piker was quick to note was fake. It's airsoft, he said. I like guns, but I would never keep one in the house. Or would I? While Rogan's podcasts typically feature interviews with guests that meander into politics, Mr. Piker often approaches the topic alone on solo streams. Although he has recorded with the likes of Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont and Representative AOC of New York, last year he streamed from the DNC. Mr. Piker disagrees with the comparisons to Rogan and has characterized what each does as being completely different. His marathon streaming sessions are fueled partly, this is one of the things that I actually said to the journalist was, I ironically am the inverse Joe Rogan in the sense that sometimes what I'm doing is quite literally addressing the misinformation that Joe Rogan is spreading, which is part of the reason why whenever people say like, oh, you're the left Joe Rogan, I'm like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Because a big part of what I do and a big part of the reason why a lot of journalists actually appreciate what I do is because there is so much misinformation online, contrary to what like all of the annoying liberals say about how I'm the Alex Jones of the left or whatever. If you actually were to listen to journalists, they have a very different attitude about what I do because they know that a big chunk of my work is to specifically look at misinformation online, address that misinformation, correct the record, and actually show the real news coverage on the matter. Now, of course, real journalists understand that. They see the value in that. They recognize it. But drama slop tubers will turn around and say, I'm, spreading fake news or whatever. Who are you supposed to trust in this process? His marathon streaming sessions are fueled partly by cartons of Zyn, cans of Diet Dr. Pepper, and energy drinks. Mr. Piker, who fasts daily as a part of his fitness routine, usually consumes only coffee until around 2 p.m., when he has his first meal of precisely 1.1 pounds of roasted chicken breast with low-carb pita, meze, and sauces. He says his persona is built upon authentic interest in fitness, culture, style, and politics, that he has had throughout his life. Mr. Piker was in a fraternity at Rutgers University, yes, but he also has been a lifelong gamer and anime fan. He moved to the Los Angeles area in 2013 after graduating from Rutgers and telling his parents, both college professors, that he intended to apply to law school. Instead, he got a job in ad sales at the Young Turks, a progressive news network founded by his uncle, the pundit Cenk Uygur. Mr. Piker does not deny that he is a Nepo baby, he said. A perfect society is one in which those types of advantages don't matter, he added. That I also said that is what I am fighting for. Like this would not, not so fast. Scroll back up to that dirty desk pic, bro. Yeah, it's nasty. I know. Yeah, Shaky Gurga made me, which is not something that I hide, obviously. But it'll be funny when people go. Oh my God, he admitted being a Nepo baby. It's like, yeah, I always do. Hello, welcome. By 2016, he was regularly appearing in videos on the Young Turks social media accounts. He started streaming on Twitch 2 years later. Fashion, he said, is something he has loved since he was too big. He was a too big teen growing up in Turkey where he inhaled American culture through TV shows like The Boondocks. Mr. Piker, who is straight, is aware that wearing pearls and painting his nails can suggest otherwise, inviting attention from gay men. Last year, when a gay content creator asked Mr. Piker if he was an ally in an interview at a Pride event in Los Angeles, he jokingly said no, then playfully added, "I'm a foe." Mr. Piker then spanked the interviewer, who was wearing an American flag Speedo swimsuit, in front of a bus emblazoned with a logo for Grindr, the gay dating app. Of his image, he said, "I don't feel the need to present myself in any way that I am not. Always unfiltered, sometimes extreme." Here we go. You have to have a little bit of sauce in there. You know what I mean? You have to have a little bit. It can't all be glaze and praise. It's the New York Times after all. So let's take a look. Now it gets juicy. Mr. Piker is similarly unfiltered with his viewpoints. Some can be extreme. This is the part that I wanted to mention as far as this is the editorial control kicking in the conversation to present it in a balanced fashion. I don't even think this is off base, by the way. There's only one part of this entire article that I, understand why the New York Times editorial board takes these sorts of decisions on that I obviously disagree with. But overall, I think this is pretty on the level, right? A vocal critic of U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East, Mr. Piker has been labeled anti-American by people across the political spectrum for saying the country deserved the September 11 attacks. His recent accusations that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza and his diatribes against the Zionist movement have led many supporters of Israel, including liberals like Representative Richie Torres of New York, to call Mr. Piker anti-Semitic. Did you catch the part that I don't think is... This was, and I know for a fact, so... There's a full quote from me that Jack got, and I was actually very interested to see how this quote would make its way into the article, and I'm willing to bet that there was probably a lot of back and forth, and it most likely went all the way up the editor chain until they finally arrived at this version as an appropriate way to put in print. Because I straight up, you know me. It's not like I, hold back. Do you remember your full quote? My full quote was something along the lines of Israel is an apartheid state that is committing a genocide. Something things that I say all the time, things that are the truth. And this is not just my assessment. This is the assessment of international organs of justice, all this stuff, right? But what's important here is that the New York Times is, they're going to put that in there because that's my opinion. And this is a profile on me, obviously, and it's a part of who I am. But it's interesting that televised baby Holocaust. No, I'm not going to give a quote to the New York Times where I say this is a live streamed child Holocaust. There's a difference, right? Yeah. Ali Abunima also had this to say. In this generally flattering profile, New York Times labels Hassan the Hun extreme for calling Israel's genocide of Palestinians what it is. Note the quotation marks, which this poisonous propaganda rag uses to try to mainstream genocide denial. So that was the two parts in this that I found to be interesting. What I mean is, and this is not like up to the journalist, like 100%. This is not like the journalist himself is not making this decision. Okay. Straight up. This is, as I've said before, there is always a disparity between the newsrooms and the teams and the editorial team in most publications. And this is a classic example of that. It says encoding in process, new gooch boofing for the settlers, doco. Please react this on only 4 minutes. Can you please stop spamming my Chinese heart AI cover? I'm not going to react to it right now in the midst of me reading this New York Times article. So that's the thing. It's not my accusations that Israel is committing a genocide in air quotes. And I think that right there is the New York Times is like seasoning where they're like, this is fit to print. Like this is his real genuine belief, but we can't put it in there. And his diatribes against the Zionist movement have led many supporters. And by the way, to be fair, like they were much lighter on me than I thought they would be, because I was definitely a little worried when doing this initially, because, you know, the New York Times is, and this has nothing to do with like the actual journalists that work there, right? But the New York Times broadly is, them and the BBC are pretty awful on the issue of Israel. Anyway, I find anti-Semitism to be completely unacceptable, Mr. Piker said on a call in April. I find the conflation of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism to be very dangerous, he added. I talked more on this as well, aside from this. Is this where the terrorists gather? Is Luffy still alive? Says Flippy333. No. Don't ban that guy. He's having fun. This is how he chooses to spend his Sunday. Yeah. His video streams are peppered with expletives, vulgarities, and other language that many have disavowed in the name of political correctness. He blocks commenters for what he sees as overt hate speech, but not for speaking critically when they challenge his views on topics like transgender rights or the war in Gaza. Some have accused him of sharing misinformation on streams, but Mr. Piker says his aim is to provide factual information along with his own views. John Favreau, a founder of the center-left podcast Pod Save America and his liberal parent company Crooked Media, said Mr. Piker's willingness to engage with viewpoints outside his own was another trait that might appeal to young men who had swung towards the right. He wants to reach those people too, Mr. Favreau said. But the way Mr. Piker presents himself could work against him, said Reese Peck, a professor of media culture at the College of Staten Island and the author of Fox Populism, Branding Conservatism as Working Class. He's more events in Soho than he is Eastern Kentucky. As Mr. Peck put it, that bicoastal stylish hip masculinity has its limitations to appeal to a broad array of young men, especially working class young men. Now, what I find really funny is I don't really go to any events at all, let alone events in Soho, but I get what he's trying to say. Like he's saying I'm a hoity-toity bicoastal elitist, which is true. And it's not something that I hide, right? Ironically enough, it's not something that I hide at all. I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like, and I'm very vocal about it. I always see that as being honest. The irony, of course, is that none of these guys that actually appeal to a lot of the people that fucking live in Eastern Kentucky are in any way, shape, or form from that background anyway, right? And there's plenty of people from Eastern Kentucky, ironically enough, in this fucking community, as a matter of fact. So that's what's really interesting about it, because like it's not like Theo Von. Yeah, Theo Von has that background for sure, Louisiana boy, right? But nowadays it's not like he's fucking mucking it up and going in the swamp and wrestling gators, right? He's a super famous Hollywood celebrity. You see what I'm saying? And the same goes for Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is an incredibly wealthy person, right? Andrew Schultz and that entire podcast is filmed directly out of the what is the fucking place? The hotel I stayed at as well. It's like the coolest place in New York, or was the coolest place in New York for a little bit. Dime Square, thank you. So none of these guys are actually, you know, directly broadcasting. None of these guys are directly broadcasting from what do you call it? Eastern Kentucky. Oh, you stayed at 9 Orchard, bro? Yeah, I did. Okay. That bi-coastal stylish hip masculinity has the limitation to appeal to a broad array of young men, especially working class young men. This part I actually disagree with. Because this also, if I were to present myself as something I'm not, then it would be inauthentic. It would also go against like my whole appeal, you know? What you see is what you get. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's motherfuckers in the Midwest that like anime too, you know? That's it. I'm not going to flip my, as an Eastern Kentuckian myself, you get along with us more than others, my Eastern KY peeps, yeah, that's what I mean. Like Trillbillies is a podcast of Eastern Kentuckians who are straight up in Kentucky, right? But I would suspect that, and I love those boys, they're fantastic, right? But I would suspect that, you know, someone like Joe Rogan or Andrew Schultz probably is more prominent in the content consumption of like average Joes that are linemen or fucking work in construction in places like that, right? Like those guys are certainly not more real Appalachians than the Trillbillies boys, right? They're from the heart of Appalachia. So my point is the working class and their consumption doesn't necessarily like the working class and their consumption is not looking for like optics. And that is not who I am anyway. It would be inauthentic if I were to present myself as like, you know, wearing cowboy boots and working a field type shit. That's what a lot of Republicans do. That's like what Ted Cruz does, you know? Yale graduate, puts on the snakeskin, acts like he's a real salt of the earth kind of guy, flies off to Cancun when his fucking state is collapsing. Clancy Campbell, a 20-year-old fan of Mr. Piker who is studying to become an esthetician, said the difference between Mr. Piker and his right-leaning counterparts could be boiled down to the amount of care and where you put it. With the right-wing media and stuff, they care almost too much about issues that don't matter, he said. With Hasan, it's like he cares, but in the right places. Alec Flynn, a 28-year-old comedian in Los Angeles whose material draws from his life as a straight man, said he did not religiously follow Mr. Piker, but he understood the appeal of Mr. Piker's brand of masculinity. The more authentically yourself you are, the more effective you will be, said Mr. Flynn, who was also in a college fraternity. At the end of the day, he added, people like frat bros. And that's where the article ends. Okay? Yeah, I work in the Midwest. Most of the coworkers are not fans of the coastal urban cities because of their more liberal social views, but they are pretty leftist either way with their economic opinions. Yeah. My point is there isn't really anyone that actually authentically from, you know, Ohio or whatever that then turns around and makes a podcast. Like there are some people who I think fit that prototype even better than others. Like I'd say Shane Gillis and his background, like he's now super famous, but I think the reason why he has like broad appeal is because he's just fucking funny. Like that's it. People only care about that. People care about your output. People care about your likability. People don't necessarily care whether or not you are really from, you know, this background, really from this area or whatever, right? Hank Pecker is the only red-blooded American who's appealed to coal miners, brother. Yeah. I understand the bro framing, but speaking in terms of the cisgender white male that is a huge NFL fan and also a metalhead, the appeal from my perspective was not the culture you consume. No. I think that this scratches the surface of what I do, and I think it's the juxtaposition of like what I look like and how I carry myself as opposed to what I say, right? And I think that is the package in and of itself that plays a role in why I find success I think one of the best parts of the article is the jock insurance thing, which is I've never thought about it like that. Like I never knew that that's what it was called, but it's something that I've talked about quite a bit, which is that it's something that I even bring up when I'm talking about like the fucking Andrew Tates of the world, right? It's like people that look like me, people that talk like me, the expectation is I'm supposed to be this like MAGA right-wing guy. I'm supposed to have this machismo, and the only way to showcase my machismo and bravado is by constantly dunking on vulnerable populations to elevate my status, to elevate your status as a byproduct. Like we're all higher than these fucking losers, these people that just like are weird and gross and fuck them, right? Like people that are vulnerable. And I think that that's lame as fuck. I think that that's weak as fuck. So, but did they not mention your belief system or your socialism? That's kind of odd. No, they did in the beginning. But you know, men are down bad when one leftist dude is on the New York Times front page. Yeah, I do dunk on vulnerable populations all the time, like gaming frogs. That's true. New York Times somehow believes that one can authentically be working class, a la plaid shirts and cowboy boots, and most conservatives and libs use that aesthetic to appeal in a way that is entirely inauthentic. People aren't stupid. Exactly. It would not be real if I was like, you know, wearing work boots and shit and running around like I'm actually, what is this? Meanwhile, Ethan's New York Times debut. What? Yeah, apparently Ethan is not very happy about this. He is very upset that I got this article written, and he's been posting about it. He's been posting about it since like 6 a.m. our time, which I think is a crazy thing to do when you first wake up. Like I first woke up and I posted about the article because, you know, it's the article that I was waiting for. I was waiting for it to come out. It's been a long time. The article took place a long ass time ago. It's odd for him to wake up and also post nonstop. Literally nobody says that except those paid by his publicist. As a recent 2 minutes ago on a multi-story Insta rant, his fluency between culture and ideology has led many to brand Piker or Joe Rogan to the left, and Mr. Rogan had a mop top and painted his nails. Literally nobody says that except those paid by his publicist. I don't have a publicist. My haters can't tell me you're not hot, bro. Jewelry and nail paint. This dude is different. Wow, 10 words you say, and they happen to pick the swastika one. So brave of him to disavow Nepo babies. Oh my God. How can people that are fans of this guy not think, dude, you're 40 years old, you have 3 kids, like it's Sunday. Just, you know, can't you save this for the show or something? Like, why are you doing this? How can people not recognize how fucking obsessed this is? You mean the dudes that are known for hazing their friends to death and sexually assaulting drunk college girls? Doesn't everyone hate frat bros? He's like dunking on every aspect of the article. Very strange stuff, man. Like, I hope he gets better. Thanks for reading my review. He posted again and said, thanks for reading my review. Dude, oh my God. You don't think the New York Times is trying to make this seem like it's optics and not about issues? It's what they've been doing since election. Dems don't need to fix their policies. They just need a leftist Joe Rogan. And that's what I think this New York Times article was playing up. I think that they're trying to make sense of why someone like myself why someone like myself has seen a lot of success in an otherwise right-wing dominated landscape. And and for them, it's like, it can't be the issues at all. So it can't be the issues themselves. It can't be what I'm saying. So it must be like the aesthetic. And to be fair, the way I look does play a role in this, right? The way I look does play a role in this. The packaging certainly is a part of it. Yeah, he placed the laughing, crying emoji over, I guess, my statements about political correctness. He blocks commenters for what he sees as overt hate speech, but not for speaking critically when they challenge his views on topics like transgender rights or the war in Gaza. Yeah, he clipped the, I find anti-Semitism to be completely unacceptable, Mr. Piker said on a call in April. I find the conflation of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism to be very dangerous. He's being especially unhinged because the last episode did very poorly on views because it was the first step in a while, not clickbaiting you or iDubbbz. Yeah. As usual, he puts out the dog whistle on his Instagram stories. And then his rabid fan base starts a harassment campaign. Shame on you. Oh, he's... Report this trash puff piece to the New York Times editorial board. Thanks for posting first today. This is clearly pushed forward by a publicist working for Hasan to get ahead of any negative publicity. Dude, I don't think these guys understand. They're allowing an email hate brigade on their sub, not linking directly, but I posted a tweet about it. I don't know if these guys understand that, like, this kind of stuff is very annoying to newspapers in general. You don't come across as like a normal person. And also, this is a direct brigade. Can you stop talking about him? Dude, are you fucking stupid? Are you actually that stupid that you don't understand what I'm showing here is not just like me doing drama? Like, what are you talking about? This is a direct fucking brigade. Like, this is also literally, by Reddit standards, not allowed. Like, this is, you're harassing a journalist and you're trying to get a fucking journalist fired for writing a profile on someone you don't like. This is literally Gamergate shit. This is what Gamergaters were doing for years and years. It's so insane because, like, every content creator has a decent amount of stalkers, right? But most content creators don't have a stalker that basically makes content off of them stalking, like everything that I do. I like you aren't downplaying the positive side of their obsession aesthetic and rapping aside. There's a real benefit to you being given publicity. Negativity be damned. Yeah, because I don't want people to get fucking fired for, I mean, it's not going to happen anyway, but I don't want people to have to deal with like annoying calls and shit like that. Like, it's so stupid. It's so lame. You know what I mean? It doesn't play the role they think. I really hate how the DNC was has even independence as far as the majority report talking about messaging when it's a completely vapid party and makes the program very close to its doom. Yeah. No wonder Ethan was so shocked. What is this? We are not a Hasan snark. Over 150 posts in the last 7 days filled with such bangers as Hasan is jealous of Ethan. I can't stop imagining Hasan bringing someone back to his place for the first time. Note the Hasan post of the most engagement. Yeah, they use the subreddit like I mean, it's a snark subreddit for sure. This is not the first time that these guys have done this. Anytime any fucking journalist has ever written anything about me, they have to basically go private for like a week. It's so gross, man. It's crazy because like none of these other... I wish that like other content creators that are in this space would at least pay a little bit of attention to this and be like, all right, man, you know, this is gotten out of hand. Every hater when he talks about you and you respond, oh my God, can you move on? What? Yeah. Reddit is where the niche issues get resolved and where decency goes to die afterwards. Other content creators don't have mainstream news asking for their political opinions. No, I know, but like this is very clearly a major issue, right? On its own, regardless, like this is an extended year-long crash out that has turned into like constant brigading, doxing campaigns, frivolous litigation to get people's private information, to bully them, to harass them, going after Redditors, going after journalists. Like it's so weird. It's so strange that it's just like something that we all have to fucking put up with. Other content creators themselves see this kind of thing and go, ugh, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to fucking incur the wrath of Ethan's foot soldiers. And I feel like that's such a strange, there's just a strange place to exist in where everyone is like, yeah, this stuff is weird and gross, but you know, a lot of people are just like genuinely worried that he will come after them. This is something that happened with Aiden Ross as well initially. You know? Why are you shocked? They did the same with D for 5 years. I know. They are still first world problems, though. No, I mean, yeah, that's true. But we are in the first world, you know? I'm trying to put the truth out in the space where people may see it in my free time, but the Diddy G and E community is legion. It's tough to break through. Yeah. Just remember, it's mostly online. Even though the more we spend time online, the more the shit that we do online becomes the reality. New York Times article title change. What did they change it to? Nobody liked the article title initially, so I'm not surprised. A progressive, oh my God, they literally changed it to what I just said. A progressive mind and a body made for the manosphere. That's cool. Anyway, I think it was a good article. Obviously, Jack's the man, by the way. He was dope. He was great. And I hope that he doesn't get a lot of fucking harassment, you know? Paid publicist confirmed? Yeah. Do you think that debating Ethan will shut him and the Legion up? No, of course not. No, I think the fact that it's online makes it a more pressing of an issue. At this point, most people in the 18 to 25 age group primarily gets their info online. I know, but I'm also online, you know? I'm also duking it out here. It just sucks because, like, I'm duking it out over here, and I wish that I wouldn't have to deal with, like, people who consider themselves to be liberals and present themselves as liberals who are supposed to be like ideologically aligned with someone like myself, especially at a time when there's more pressing issues like the Trump administration, you know, throwing the Constitution in a pile and lighting it on fire, right? Do you see what I mean? Like, it just sucks that I also have to deal with like the apolitical drama side of things. Like, it's not enough that there is already so much right-wing commentary all over the fucking internet, like everywhere, right? But then also on top of that, like even the apolitical guys and the liberals and the centrists also have to constantly present, my style of politics as like bad. And these guys never actually present a leftist voice that is good, by the way. It's not like they're propping up certain people and being like, this is actually a really good person on this issue. Like, Ethan tried doing that for Israel Palestine, and the guy he came up with was fucking Boner Box. Like, that person is not like there was a point, I think, when he was definitely more critical of Israel, but he's not. Like he went to fucking Israel. Like he did a propaganda trip with members of the Israeli with members of the Israeli foreign ministry. So it's really fucked up. I was told by a prominent former gamer turned liberal commentator that if you woke up tomorrow and there were no hit pieces, you'd be bothered. You mean they lied to me? No, it would be amazing. I fucking, God. It would be the most amazing moment of my life. There would be like a moment of peace for once, you know? I mean, those guys know that that it's a distraction and it fucking sucks. Right? Because if they thought that it was something that I enjoyed, then they wouldn't do it. These people despise me. Like they fucking hate me. And they've said as much. I mean, some of these guys have gone as far as to say like, oh, I hope he kills himself, which is so crazy because like, you know, I'm doing pretty good. Just turn off your PC for peace, little bro. Yeah. Much love from Prussia, bro. I asked Wilhelm to put in a good word for you with the Sultan. Keep it up, brother. Thank you. It's socialism or barbarism. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Is there anything that to get Ethan to stop? No, he'll never stop. Especially because he knows that whenever he brings up my name and attacks me, he brings on some of the grossest fucking losers online to come and watch him. They love that shit. So I think this is beneficial for him as well. He gets to feel smart, which is what he wants more than anything else. And it gives him like clout as well. I mean, he's, you know, I feel like he's got his own shit to worry about at this point, though. I mean, he's got like a billionaire that he has a defamation suit around. So. I don't normally condone this kind of stuff. What? No. Shut the fuck up. Don't say fucking shit like that. Hot take. I think the reason he wants to debate you is so he can close the strong obsession and make it into a less small obsession. Thus, he can pull all his main focus to IDubs. He's like the USA with the Middle East and China. No. Chris Kunzler popped off again. Loner Box, Israel's dumbest propagandist. Wow. King shit. Anyway. Did he have targets before you, which became so obsessive about? Yes. I think pretty much everyone. But the only difference is I don't think it was this long and this extended. And also, their politics were so bad and the stuff that they had done were so bad that most people didn't realize that it was like obsessive in a similar vein, myself included. Like, I don't also know Ethan's background that well. I'm not super familiar with what he had done with like his former podcast co-hosts like Trisha or any number of different people that he's like targeted in the past, whether it be what do you call it? A fucking Keemstar or all these other dudes, right? Like, I don't know. So, you know. bet he talks about loaner box still staying. There were wait, what? Oh, this is the other thing I was going to show you. Before the New York Times article came out, he posted one of my full takes where I say, like, if you're a Zionist, like, I think people who promote Israel should not be in local office. Like, they should be treated in the same exact way that people who promote Nazi Germany or apartheid South Africa are. And and he posted it on his Instagram. He posted it on his Instagram story, my full take. Here I think, like, this will never happen, but in a totally just world, any kind of, regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi. And you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher, as Felix was posting, if they've ever exhibited any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this. I think, like, this will never happen, but in a yeah. So he posted this and said, "This is a significant escalation of violent, dehumanizing language, even for him." And I found this very strange. Does he assume that people are not going to actually watch or listen to the video that he posted? Like, what's the dehumanizing and violent language here? Can you tackle the argument? Or is it all you got is just a cry and be like, wow, he's being mean to Israel again and defenders of Israel again. How violent and how dehumanizing. I said, Lamau, yes, I think a politician supporting Israel, which is an apartheid state doing a genocide, should be treated in the same way as a politician supporting Nazi Germany or apartheid South Africa. Why is this violent language exactly? You can say this about Russia or Iran and you get promoted, but God forbid you say this about Israel. Like, how do people figure this out? Just be ready for this to be a big deal, even though he banned this person? No, it's not going to be a big deal. They found a chatter in the fucking photos they took that was insta banned. Like, I don't give a shit. It's only a big deal if you make it a big deal by bringing it over here. Who cares if they try to, like, brigade it and fucking lose their minds over it? Yes, unlike Ethan, I actually don't only have fucking paid members who I then ban anyway. Okay? Ethan only allows paid dissent, people that pay him to speak in his chat, and he fucking bans them regardless when they actually step out of line in any way, shape, or form. He's created the fucking most insane hug box of all time. I, on the other hand, like having political discourse in this chat, in this community. I'm a political commentator. I have fucking Trump supporters on here. I have neo-Nazis that come into the chat all the fucking time. I have Ethan Klein fans who come in here with no fucking understanding of anything, really. Yeah. I ban him. Ethan is so allergic to any sort of pushback that he will literally button his employees that he has hired when they say something that he finds to be unacceptable. And that, by the way, isn't that they've said something reactionary or whatever. He finds it to be unacceptable because they're dissenting. Okay. And then those guys mysteriously leave the studio in the aftermath of that. You know? But yeah, it's interesting that, you know, he posted this take as it I miss the Trumpers so much. I'm so tired of these Asman viewers who have been MAGA for 1 month. They don't have the reps in. I know. It's sad. Back in the day, we used to have ride or die MAGA guys, right? They would come in here and be like, Hasan, you're fucking gay. you know, Trump is the great white hope. He's the truth. Like back in the day, we had those real ones, right? Nowadays is dudes who just like adopted the MAGA moniker a month and a half ago, and they don't have the enthusiasm. They don't have the knowledge. They don't even know the talking points. It's just like, bruh, you're a terrorist. That's it. And I don't know if the MAGA movement has gotten dumber over the course of these past couple of years. That probably is part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I think a part of this is because they've just simply gotten dumber. So it's no longer as fun. There's literally a video on this phenomena. Where did all the Trump supporters go? Oh yeah, I mean, I did. I used to complain about not having any Trump supporters in my chat. This was like September 5th, 2023, almost 2 years ago. Because I was hoping that, you know, they'll come back. I miss them. MMMA, make MAGA men MAGA again. Yeah. It's like fans of a show that watch each season in real time versus someone who binge watches and their opinions. Kind of. Yeah, I was in there. I was in there for all of its glory. Anyway, let's see what all of the best minds are saying on Twitter about this. Hey, New York Times, you don't have to do this. New York Times, no. Khalil, no. New York Times, no. Yeah, they changed the article. Yeah, people are complaining because this person, I guess, Tracing Woodgrains, co-founder of Center for Educational Progress, a think tank centered around orienting education around a culture of excellence, says, everything about this headline and fawning puff piece viscerally disgusts me. Why are we yielding the word progressive to people who daydream about the Houthis destroying their country? Why spend a whole column sucking up to him? Why call fitness MAGA? Every bit is wretched. We is the public. I grant that leftists have done a lot to make the word progressive synonymous with Hasan's brand of retrogressive third worldism, but I reject that. Public should shrug and agree. Progressive should be oriented towards progress. Yeah. I think that my anti-imperialist stance, I wouldn't... Third worldism, by the way, the fucking Orientalist Western chauvinism just is dripping with content. Like, just so much anger and resentment. Like, how dare you talk about these fucking slaves, dude? Third worldism. Wesley Yang, why are we yielding the word progressive to people who daydream about Houthis destroying their country? Not sure who is meant to be the we doing the yielding here, but I suspect that this we includes Trace as a weaker claim of defining progressive than New York Times and Picard. We is the public. I'm not claiming to have a stronger claim on the word as it's used at present. I'm making a normative claim about how the word should be used. Progress is not the property of leftists. Yeah, perhaps the reason why people don't shy away from calling me progressive is because I am fucking progressive. And believe in social progress. I believe in improving everyone's material conditions, including those people that you don't want to think about that live in the third world, third worldist politics. No, sorry, I'm apolitical. Hold on. I'm apolitical. The right itself enthusiastically associates fitness, weightlifting in particular, with right-wing politics. Not as this just is something the New York Times came up with no reason. Your opponents liking something good is not good reason to treat that good thing is fundamentally tied to them. I don't even disagree with that side of it. Like, I don't think that tying it to MAGA, tying fitness to MAGA is appropriate because, like, come on, let's be real. A lot of these fucking, I've seen I've seen the crowds at a MAGA rally. Okay. As an apolitical guy, check the hat. Apolitical. Obviously, this is common sense. A lot of these guys are fat. Okay. A lot of these guys are struggling. And I don't mean financially. I mean struggling with stairs. Okay. Yeah, the struggle is real, baby. Their heart's getting a real workout every time it beats super hard when they see their glorious king. Well, to be fair, it's a wee bit tied to MAGA content creators specifically, not as if they can actually embody their ideal presentation, but they absolutely do capitalize on hypermasculinity, which unforth is associated with being a gym bro. I know. This feels like pearl clutching over effective clickbait editorializing. Hasan garners these profiles because the male influencer space has been so dominated by right-wingers. Bro code of fitness is already associated with them. These pieces write themselves as media seeks a foil. Hasan sucks. If people run to him as a foil on the side of good against the bad right-wingers, it's a bad thing. Call it pearl clutching if you like. I don't think the New York Times should give awful people fawning puff pieces. Hasan sucks. You might not agree with me. You might not agree with my perspective. You might not agree with my framework. You might not agree with the things that I have to say at all. You might not like me. You might think I'm a fucking annoying person. That's fine. All of that is great. All of that is, you know, it's not something I can change, right? But the issue here is, that you still have to investigate why this space that I occupy is overwhelmingly dominated by right-wingers, and why I've been able to penetrate, at least I've been able to penetrate a little bit, like have a little space for progressive politics in a sea of reactionary opinion. Okay? It deserves investigation. And I'm not saying like, oh, that's the reason why these guys should write articles about me. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm simply saying that if you are a naysayer, right? If you see stuff like this and you go, why are they doing this? He sucks. You just simply haven't seen, I don't know, 30-second fucking clips that present me in the worst light by charlatans who are either trying to present me in a false light because of their own personal grievances or because they are ideologically my enemy, right? Like, oh, if you only saw the right 30-second clip, your mind would change. Like, yeah, some people are malleable. They will have their minds change, especially apolitical people. Like, oh, there's a lot of dumb people, right? But you should still try to understand why I was the only figure on election night, in spite of the best efforts of supposedly progressive people, like what's his face, the Democrat Party's very own Richie Torres. Despite their best efforts to try and deplatform me leading up to the election night, the election coverage, and despite the fact that Twitch even blacklisted me on the election night and did not show me on the front page due to those people crying to the fucking manager, you must ask yourself why there was 314,000 people in here that tuned in for this coverage. You must ask yourself why. Let me take the fucking apolitical hat off for this because I'm no longer doing a bit. You must ask yourself why or how I've been able to present an alternative vision in a sea of right-wing commentary. Okay? Especially at a time when the Democratic Party is hemorrhaging support from the youth, specifically the youth, the male youth, right? It is your lack of interest in investigating this that will ultimately cause the party's demise. Okay? Also, given that I talk about virtually every issue, if you spend enough time in here, there will come a day where I'm covering something that you care about, and I will be defending you and your position, and then you'll understand why a lot of people actually fuck with me. Especially if you're a liberal, because I despise reactionary thought. I despise the growing anti-intellectual dumbassery of the Republican Party and also the adjacent media ecosystem that they've created that turns out a metric ton of disinformation. And I know that a lot of these liberals also hate that too. So that's it. Don't let my honesty in terms of the apartheid state and the genocide that it's committing get in the way of all of the other things I talk about. My goal is to ultimately pull people back from reactionary frameworks that they've developed by rarely ever applying critical thinking and taking for granted all the social conditioning that exists in the ether. That's it. If you grow up in a country like the United States of America, you are going to have really fucking right-wing opinions. It's normal. This is how it is. Because America is fairly right-wing on a lot of issues. My job is to basically build a dam around that overflowing right-wing attitude that creates a sense of comfort and makes people lean into those biases. Because it is very comfortable. Like, right-wing commentary gives you comfort. It definitely creates a sense of paranoia. Reactionary opinions do, where you're like constantly afraid of your shadow. You're constantly afraid that, like, you know, God forbid, there might be a trans person lurking around the corner. Oh my God. Right? But outside of that, it's like, right-wing commentary gives me zero comfort, let me fade out. No, right-wing commentary gives a lot of people comfort in the sense that if you grew up thinking, you know, yeah, well, black people are kind of violent, right? Like, without ever really examining what you're thinking, because that's all you've seen on television. That's all you've seen with whatever you read. And you haven't really examined where that is coming from. And you have this kind of fear, right? And of course, they're going to have more police presence in their neighborhoods because they just have like a violent culture or whatever. It's much more comforting to hear someone either from an intellectualist framework like Ben Shapiro, who tries to intellectualize this kind of white supremacist thought, or someone from a really dumbed down version of it that is like incredibly racist. Like, that reaffirmation of your belief system is what gives people comfort. It actually pisses people off quite a bit when someone checks their previously held biases. They go, whoa, whoa, the fuck do you mean that this is directly a consequence of material conditions and systemic racism? This is something that I talk about and think about quite a bit. I actively try to present alternatives to this kind of thought terminating cliche that right wingers apply in their commentary. A way to say, oh, it's just common sense. Right wing commentary provides people with an ideological understanding of what is wrong with the world without having to confront the material contradictions of our world that is comforting to many people. Exactly. It is reassuring. Exactly. That's what I mean when I say it's right-wing reactionary sentiment is like a security blanket. Because nobody likes change, especially the older they get, the more scared they are of change, because change basically is a sad, scary reminder that, you know, the life you've led is no longer the same and that you're at the end of it. Right? You're getting closer and closer to the end of your life. And people are afraid of that. So societal changes, they meet societal changes with like a lot of anger and a lot of fear. Because it's a constant reminder that like maybe they're getting older. And the things that they took for granted are no longer the same. And that in and of itself, I think, that in and of itself is enough for a lot of people to resist it. That in and of itself is enough for a lot of people to resist change and also shoot the messenger. In this case, I would be the messenger. If I wasn't as stubborn as I am, and if I didn't have as much pride as I do, I probably would have, you know, moderated and sheltered people from my actual perspectives. Because I know how to make content that is just like fun, collabs, things of that nature, you know, go out, play basketball, rizz up girls, that sort of thing. And it's fun. It's like, I enjoy doing stuff like that as well. I could just as easily do content in that vein as well, rather than what I'm doing right now. Damn, Matt Lieb is turning on you? Yeah, I saw that. I mean, he's right, though. Unbelievable that the New York Times would platform a guy who, amongst his countless other crimes, isn't even as tall as me is true. Matt is taller than me. I'm 6'4". He's like 6'8" or something. It's crazy. He's like 6'7". I don't know how tall he is, but he's definitely taller than me. And I asked him, that's the first thing I asked him when I met him. I was like, damn, bro, you're tall as fuck. Do you play basketball? He's like, nah. What a waste, dude. You know who else wasted being 6'7"? Osama bin Laden, dude. That's right. Matt Lieb, Osama bin Laden. Pretty much the same guy. Both 6'7", both didn't use that height for basketball. I need your take on 100 men versus one gorilla discourse. I saw a statement from Christian Divine that actually changed my mind on this, but I thought that one gorilla could fucking destroy 100 men. But Christian Divine had some really interesting takes on this. I thought we were going to say both base. It was already anticipating the storm coming. No. 10 men versus one gorilla is a better argument. Nah, 100 men is too many men. At least 70 men are dying. Nah. All right, we have this.
Now, because I think we're quite.
That was a hard watch, but an important one. This is the new Settlers documentary that Louis Theroux. Louis Theroux put together. I suspect he recently went to West Bank, it seems. Do you think this will convert any normal people that are on the fence? Yeah. Dude, this kind of depravity is in full display. It is, this type of shit even converts, I would say, people who are pro-Israel. Like, it just depends on what level of mania that they're on. Like, I don't think someone like Ethan Klein is gonna watch this and be like, I was wrong about everything I said. But if you get your random friends or whatever who haven't really fully thought about the situation at all, they watch stuff like this, they will absolutely go, this is unmanageable. This is so unacceptable. We ripped it because I was worried that it would be very quickly taken out. It's not on YouTube. We ripped it and posted it on Daily Motion. Intensifying rifts versus deeper affinity. How Netanyahu and the Gaza war have convulsed relations between diaspora Jews and Israel. I mean, I think that the diaspora Jews have basically... Dude, Haaretz's paywall is so fucking crazy. Can someone send me an archive link of this? That I hope you hit me at the end was a perfect encapsulation of what is going on with this project. Yeah. I think now would be a good time to mention there's been an average of 4 settler attacks a day since October 2023 to the point where there has been over 1,800 since 2023. Yeah. How do you get people who are checked out but still say batshit reactionary ideals? So what I was gonna say is like there are still a really scary number of diaspora Jews and a much larger number of non-Jews who are totally on board with this project. That's precisely the reason why Ben Gvir and the like get so much play. Like, he gets to go to fucking synagogues in America and shit. Like, that's crazy. That's unheard of. Like, that is the stuff that that's like ultra Zionist stuff. You know what I mean? This is like a normalization of some of the most insane elements becoming infinitely more normalized within Israeli society and a committed part of the Zionist project beyond just being like a plausible deniability factor. Because remember, like, settlers play this role where there is it offers the Israeli state some semblance of plausible deniability, and now it's just like it doesn't even matter. There's no need for plausible deniability. A striking number of diaspora Jews fundamentally disagree with Israelis on the Gaza war over the policies of Netanyahu and Trump, but the events of October 7 and since have also heightened many diaspora Jews' connection to Israel. Where is the crucial relationship heading? Trump has called for the removal of all Palestinians from Gaza. Jewish people say no to ethnic cleansing. In mid-February, the New York Times published a full-page advertisement with these words, signed by hundreds of American rabbis and a list of American Jewish luminaries, actors, directors, public intellectuals. The ad was a response to U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement to remove Gazans from Palestinians from the Gaza Strip. The rabbis and certainly the public figures generally represented liberal and progressive voices, but mainstream establishment Jewish organizations voiced their disapproval too. The CEO of the American Jewish Committee found Trump's proposal concerning and confusing. The Anti-Defamation League responded that while Trump's involvement was essential, any plan must take into account Israel's security need and the well-being of Palestinian civilians in Gaza. Boo fucking who. Then in mid-April, 36 members of the UK Jewish Community's Board of Deputies published a nigh unprecedented public letter in the Financial Times. In pained tones, out of love for Israel and deep concern for its future, they wrote of the heartbreaking war and the partisan populism that is bitterly dividing Israeli society, Israel's souls being ripped out. Of Israel's protesters against the war and the government demanding return of the hostages, the deputies wrote, "We stand with them. We stand against the war. We acknowledge and mourn the loss of Palestinian life. They felt it was our duty as Jews to speak out. Although the American Jews criticized Trump, ultimately both statements represented an unusual public rebuke of Israel's government and policies by the largest and fourth largest diaspora Jewish communities in the world. Jews outside of Israel have long argued over Israeli policy, but rarely in mass audience, non-Jewish platforms, including critical statements from establishment Jewish figures." The letter set off shockwaves within their respective communities. In the U.S., chairman of the Rabbinic Zionist Coalition wrote that the New York Times ad was intended to smear Israel and associated with a crime it hasn't committed. Josh Weinberg, president of the Association of Reformed Zionists of America and a self-defined Zionist left rabbi, declined to sign what he thought was not a helpful statement in response to Trump's ridiculous position. The UK Board of Deputies, one of the oldest bodies in British Jewish life, whose members are elected by the roughly 150 constituent organizations, has opened an investigation into the issue and suspended members already. Hannah Weisfeld, the executive director of progressive Jewish organization Yachad, which supports the Israeli-Palestinian peace efforts, observed in an interview that the board seems committed to disciplining the 36, which she believes will spark a major backlash from Jews who agree with the letter. Pre-existing tensions are at a breaking point, she said. The Israel that once rallied a unified world Jewry has for some years generated deep divisions in the diaspora, but October 7 and the war in Gaza have generated a whole new set of pressure points between diaspora and Israel. On certain aspects of the war in Gaza, which is a genocide, by the way, not a war, for the record, liberal-leaning diaspora Jews, the vast majority in the U.S., where 70 to 75% vote Democrat, diverged sharply from the Israeli government's position. Benjamin Netanyahu has embraced Trump's proposal to displace Palestinians from Gaza, and among Israelis, a strong majority of the Jewish public, that is, support it in polls. Arabs in Israel are heavily opposed. Yet among American Jews, 62% majority oppose that plan. The two sides differ fundamentally on attitudes towards Gaza civilians. In February 2024, Pew found that a majority of U.S. Jews support America providing humanitarian aid to civilians in Gaza. That same month, a slightly higher portion of Israeli Jews opposed such aid, even if international actors were to send it. Diaspora Jewish compassion for the suffering in Gaza quite clearly reflects the fact that they see far more of it than Israelis, whose mainstream news largely avoided such visuals. In the early months, British Jews were quite outraged about how the war was being fought, and the Israelis just did not understand that, said Weisfield. Diaspora Jews and Israelis theoretically share the urgent desire to retrieve the hostages Hamas is holding in Gaza, but a veteran expert on American Jewish affairs who prefer to remain anonymous, noted that American Jews are disturbed by Netanyahu's prioritization of destroying Hamas over hostage return. The issue of a Jew in danger, a Jew that needs to be rescued, is very much ingrained in the American Jewish psyche, he said. The perception that Netanyahu is placing their lives second to destroying Hamas makes the prime minister into a political target. Yeah, this is like, dude. This position is like, I think this position is basically indefensible at this point. To be like, oh, Netanyahu, we have disagreements. Please do not put me in blast in front of chat, but is there a way that I can get in direct contact with you? No, there isn't. Why do you want to get in direct contact with me? What the hell? Anyway. What do I say to Israelis that say no one likes Netanyahu when like he's been voted for over and over again? Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter that no one likes Netanyahu. There's a lot Netanyahu's opposition is also still very much against the ICC considering him to be a war criminal. Netanyahu's opposition is also very much in support of him bombing Lebanon, for example. Like, that's not an opposition at all. That's fucking ridiculous. Anyway. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's watch this. Why Are Gun Guys So Gay? By Boy Boy.
It's not an easy thing to do. And luckily, there's a YouTube channel dedicated to exactly what fashion choices you need to make to be able to hide from everyone the fact that you could kill them at any second. If I were brand new to concealed carry, I would buy these clothes.
Okay, that is perfect to us because we are brand new to concealed carry.
I'm brand new to clothes.
Yeah, me too. So all of this is new.
I'm glad we finally got something to learn. What I find really funny just straight off the bat is that it says don't wear this. And it's like possibly the gayest sentence that exists in English.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be seen in that. But like, these are gun guys, but like big masculine guys, and be like, the 10 do's and don'ts of being a gun guy in the order.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I am slightly jealous of them because it's like they're playing life like they're a video game character.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, I'm specking out my clothes for my weapon. Because it's like, if you are carrying a weapon, that honestly should be the only thing you're ever thinking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everything else should revolve around your weapon. It's a big responsibility, so kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to spec this guy.
Lots of people are hyper-focused on gear, but they limit their focus to the gun or the accessories that go on the gun. But what about your clothing? Clothing is a critical part of the system.
I love that it's a system. It's not gay. We're not being women. This is all about a tactical clothing system.
Hey guys, this is Jeff with Tenacor. I'm the founder and designer of Tenacor products. I've been carrying a gun for over 25 years.
I've never carried anything for that long.
If I carried a gun for 25 years, I would have killed so many people.
Yeah. Who is this pussy?
The amount of accidents and just people, I'd be like, you've got a gun. I would have shot myself at least twice today.
So our goal here is for me to share with you my experience in the last 25 plus years, spending all the money and time and energy and resources that I have into figuring out this concealment problem.
Every single article of clothing that he's picked up is...
Dude, I'm always fucking worrying about the concealment problem. I'm always thinking about that.
undercover cop clothes.
Yep.
A Hawaiian shirt at a music festival. I'm just a normal guy who doesn't have a gun.
Don't have a gun, no gun here, guys.
I've spent thousands of hours and tens of thousands of dollars experimenting with things and trying to figure out what actually works for carrying a gun every day.
For a man that's spoken about how much research he's done, he's literally wearing a hoodie and jeans.
Yeah, no, stuff's changed a lot for us.
What are you fucking talking about, bro?
I think the issue is that this man just likes fashion.
Yes.
He likes fashion and he needs to make this elaborate backstory in order to still be a straight guy. And he's like, oh, it's actually like tactical research, like 25 years of research. It's like, no, just be a fashion inspiration channel.
And I like it at the end of this, his resolution was the straight guy outfit.
Yeah.
That's the perfect, universally perfect outfit.
The most tactical outfit is jeans and a hoodie. It's not a dress, a big billowy moo-moo where no one can see. You could have an AR-15 on moo-moo.
You can have a suicide vest.
But that's not the most tactical thing.
No.
For the first 10 or so years of me carrying a gun, it was this constant process of experimenting with different belts, different holsters, different clothing, trying to find something that was both comfortable and concealable. It wasn't until I switched to appendix carry that my wardrobe choices...
Penis carry?
Appendix carry?
Oh, what he's talking about is penis.
His penis. My penis carry.
Is that not what he said?
Did he say penis?
It wasn't until I switched to appendix carry.
He did.
He said penis.
We've researched the perfect way to carry it. It's not penis carry. Penis. Penis carry.
I think if he carried a gun for 25 years, he's probably shot himself in the head a couple of times.
Yeah.
And now he just can't say the word penis anymore.
Yeah, but also I love the idea of every man that carries a gun has to point it directly at their cock.
So standardizing the gun that you have, the holster you have, and the belt that you have, which are kind of the foundational components to your carry system, is really important.
I love this type of shit because it just proves my theory that Americans don't have any like third spaces to go to, and they have no labor organizing, no community organizing whatsoever, no ways of creating cultural signifiers beyond commodity consumption, and guns are a commodity to consume. And it it basically becomes your entire life when you become a gun guy. This is all you do. It's all you think about. You befriend other gun guys. You talk about, you know, your EDC, your everyday carry. That's it. This level of hyper obsession, if it was done for Warhammer figurines, would be branded as like some niche nerdy fascination. But because it's guns and there's like a political association attached to it as well, you know, all of a sudden it's just like burly and alpha. Why couldn't these guys be autistic for something cool like public transit, you know, trains? I wish.
Once you do that, you kind of know what kind of pants, what kind of shorts, what kind of shirt you can buy or wear. And it basically simplifies the entire process. I currently carry a Glock 19 with a Trijicon RMR on it.
I currently carry Glock 19. Chill the fuck out.
It's like those guys that squeeze your hand really hard when you do a handshake. It's just, no, I don't want to. It's just unnecessarily aggressive.
I won't do it. I won't squeeze again. But they always go like, and you're just like, okay, dude, I was chill, and now you just assaulted me. I don't know why you did that.
It's the same kind of thing. It's these like super insecure men that have to just have like one overly aggressive action throughout like a normal situation. And imagine this guy eating a fucking banana. I'm just a regular, everyday guy. What have you been?
Yeah, good.
So let's talk about specific clothing in general. We'll start at the top and kind of work our way.
Let's talk about our tops. Ladies, let's talk about our tops. What tops work with what gun? Oh my God. I'm sorry. If you live in the United States of America, there is literally not a single moment in your life where you had to tactically bring out your concealed weapon, okay? It's just so stupid. There has never been a real instance where you were in a self-defense style situation where you had to kinetically engage with a perpetrator and you had to just like, you're like, oh, thank God I watched this video and I wore a top that gives me ease of access to my weapon. It's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. It's just like you're a paranoid weirdo, man. You're delusional. Get help.
Way down.
He's talking about tops.
He's going to describe t-shirts to us and then pants to us.
Oh no, I thought he was talking about tops and bottoms.
Ah.
It'd be like, this kind of gay person needs to wear this kind of clothes and then have this kind of gun. Bottoms, just don't carry a gun at all.
No.
You don't need it. The tops are here to protect you.
Should be the other way around, right?
No, bottoms, submissive.
Was the bottom's the submissive one? I thought the bottom was the one they're on.
Who likes?
No, I thought they were on the bottom, so they're the ones doing the fucking.
Well, how do you fuck on the bottom? How do you think anal sex works?
If they're on top of you.
I think the classic idea of anal sex is,
It goes in your bottom.
Yeah.
So it turns out
you've been lying to everyone.
I'm a top.
Yeah, you've been lying to everyone.
What the fuck? Okay, that explains why everyone's so fucking confused.
So undershirts are a thing. I have always lived in.
By the way, pretty sure you are shadow banned. What do you mean? Real_Dan_Clancy just gave me 10 gifted subs. How dare you?
Northern climates, and so I've always worn an undershirt, and so when I carry a gun, I wear an undershirt. It is more comfortable in general for me, and it helps to protect my body from the gun. So generally...
The undershirt protects your body from the gun?
Everything about this is so good, explaining why you need to wear an undershirt in a cold environment. It's just because of the gun.
Otherwise, I'd be naked. If I didn't have a gun, the freedom. The things I'd be able to do. Fucking terrifying to think that there's some guy who's spent 25 years working out that hoodie is a perfect way to pretend he's not about to murder someone. I don't know. How do I even do with it?
I found it really bad when we were in Texas and you saw people with their concealed carry.
Yeah.
Some part of me just wants to be like... You just want to
Give me.
You just want to take it.
Although
Like, it's mine.
Texas was much gayer than this. It was so good, like tight, like leather jeans and like pink checkered shirts, and then just like leather boots, like fucking
Cowboy boots.
leather stiletto, so like knee-high stiletto boots, just walking around. I'm like, these are good-looking boys.
And all because of their gun.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they do it.
I need these high heels to protect me from the gun.
With any clothing, the higher quality clothing, it's gonna be more comfortable and it's gonna feel better and fit better. Find a particular t-shirt or undershirt brand that you like and then stick with that thing. I have found that the district made DM130 works really well.
That is just a shirt. I find the DN130 works really well. What needs to work? You need 4 holes.
What do you, dude? You don't understand. It's a cutting edge tactical shirt, bro. It's fucked up that you don't get it. You just don't understand because you're Australian. You don't understand. You don't understand how sick and important it is to have a tactical shirt.
Holes in a shirt. One big one slightly smaller one, and 2 very small ones.
4 holes, yeah.
Yeah. What other functions do you need for this?
Yeah, tell me the specs of this shirt. Like, that's what I want to know.
It's nothing. It's just that it's branded, and he's selling his own merch.
So he said, I found my own shirts.
My own shirt.
Let's talk about cover garments. You need to put something over the top of the gun to cover it. Cover garments that are stretchy and knitty, like this one. This is like a polo. This is going to form around the gun and is not going to work very well. A t-shirt is going to be maybe a little better than this because it's not going to be quite as stretchy as this.
I mean, this is the same kind of stuff I think about because I like just always have a boner.
Yes.
Just constantly. So like I really need to pick clothes that don't form around my penis.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why you buy a belt. For down low, you pull your boner down.
Down. Or you put it up and you got a cock ring with the power of your belly and belt.
That's a good idea as well. I usually do the tuck down in between my ass cheeks, then you tense your ass cheeks and you close, like boner comes back.
There's no way.
Into ass cheeks, then you tense and it locks it in there. And the best thing is, if you're threatened, you release.
Oh.
You got your own fucking flip knife in your pants.
in your groin.
In your underpants.
That's cool.
Try it. And even better is you go do it while soft and then you get erect. And then it's
you get erect because your dick is in your own ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And it feels good.
It feels great.
Yeah. Now, if you want to sell your own gun-friendly clothing, but you're worried about how complicated commercial management is, then look no further than the sponsor of today's video, Odoo.
Odoo is a management software all-in-one that offers a range of applications for entrepreneurs to facilitate the daily management of their activity. Odoo CRM is very intuitive and places the customer at the heart of a ton of activity, from opportunity management to closing sales.
One of our favorite aspects is their instant lead capture, which means that interested customers can contact you directly on your Odoo website, and a new
They're saying this sincerely, chat. They're not reading it.
opportunity is automatically
From a
created in your
teleprompter.
CRM. Another great aspect is the pipeline views. With Kanban view, every opportunity is presented in card form with all the essential information available at just a glance, from their details to their priority level and their expected revenue.
Within each task, you can add the complete information of the client and their requirements in the description. It also offers simplified communications and monitoring, so all your email exchanges and log notes take place in the chatter. You can even integrate with ChatGPT to save time and easily schedule all your activities, such as meeting calls, to-dos, etc.
Best of all, you can create and send quotes in just a few clicks directly from your opportunity. Your clients can accept and even pay for it from the customer's portal, at which point we'd like to say, well done, you made your first sale. Finally, you can analyze your performance using personalized dashboards and predict your results with revenue estimates. And the best part is it's absolutely free.
Your first app with Odoo is free for life with unlimited hosting and support. So what are you waiting for? Go click our link and download Odoo today and start selling your gun paraphernalia today.
So another aspect to concealment is going to be patterns on shirts. So you can have solids like this, and then you can have patterns. So this is like a plaid.
Why can't they have good sponsors like this guy who, and you know, they could sponsor this video to talk about tactical clothing? That's what they should have done.
You know the best pattern? A pattern of multiple guns.
Oh, you don't know where it is.
So they don't know which gun is where.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's fucking perfect.
That's what he should sell. And people will be distracted. And they were like, let me see the guy with all the guns on his shirt isn't carrying a gun.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to draw attention to himself.
No, exactly. That's where you get it.
Plaids are going to be very square because you have lines running one way and perpendicular lines running another way.
Oh, you cannot be serious. He's describing what plaid is. What's really good about this shirt is that it's got 2 armholes, so I'm not stuck like this all day. How is this a YouTube video? He looks like he's about to fall asleep.
This is amazing. 6 minutes and he just explained why he wears really boring shirts.
So they're gonna cover up square things really well, but not rounded things as well. Something like a Hawaiian shirt will cover up both because it is gonna have both straight lines and round lines. And
What's a round line? You're carrying a grenade? What are you hiding underneath you? But also, if it covers round and square, why are you showing us any of the other options? Hawaiian shirt at all times.
This shirt right here has plaid on it, which is great, but it is relatively light. And so the lighter colors are gonna show the shadows and stuff more. And so they're not gonna work as well for concealment.
Where's our gun?
Oh, where did our gun go?
Where did our gun go?
Hello? Yeah, gunny. Oh, there he is.
We got a gun. We got a taser. Which one do you want to conceal?
I'd rather conceal this. I don't want to accidentally tase myself. Okay, trigger discipline.
See, towards my penis.
Yeah.
Can you see?
That's crazy that he just fucking put the taser. Dude, Alex, come on, man. Come on, big dog. He's gonna fucking hurt himself. I mean, I did waterboard him for the last boy video, so obviously he has hurt himself already, but that's like insane, dude.
Yeah, I'm concealing anything. Absolutely not.
These are really...
You can't even see.
And then, bam! Shot ya.
See, I don't know what he's talking about, the penis.
Yeah, it doesn't work. That's what I try to do.
This man's an expert.
Yeah, this is impossible.
This is really hard to conceal your gun.
It feels like this is a very, very simple concept.
Yes.
Like, I put it in.
Yes.
Let's say I've got it in my penis hole.
Yes, it's in your penis hole.
Well, you can still kind of see it.
See, that's...
That is kind of complicated.
Yeah, but it's because it's... Go in the middle, yeah. I can't see nothing. Nothing. There's nothing there.
And then it just looks like I'm like about to masturbate, and they're like, oh, whatever. Don't look at this guy. He's masturbating in public, and then he shoots you.
Well, there we go. Maybe we only know that because we've watched his YouTube video.
What's so gay about this video is imagining this man trying on heaps of different outfits and going in front of the mirror. It is just like the lamest shit I've ever seen.
If I had a gun, that's all I would do. You're looking at me? You're looking at me?
Another consideration for tops is gonna be jackets. When I wake up in the morning, I get dressed up with the gun.
Are you gonna react to Hoser's new video? Who the fuck is Hoser? Like, take me to church? Take me to church. Na, 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 na. That guy? He make a new video? Yeah, I know music. I know ball. He make a new video? What happened? What is this?
2025 was the start.
Why is Trump doing all that? I don't think I've ever watched a video from this guy. I have no idea what the situation is.
On, the gun comes off when I'm going to bed. It's not a thing that I just put on to go to the store.
I mean, if you're serious about guns, I don't think you should take it off when you go to sleep.
No, lots of things happen in your sleep.
Also, when you're sleeping, I presume he doesn't sleep with clothes on.
I presume he has very specific tactical outfits for sleep.
I was going to say you should. You really should, because otherwise you could be caught sleeping and someone might see your gun when you're sleeping.
Yeah, that's true. For sleeping, it's actually very tactical to have a starched sleeping cap, slightly stiff, so you can't tell where your head's going to move.
Yep.
And then also a gown, a sleeping gown, because it covers your gun where you might have it. And then you want a little saucer with a candle on it, so you can see at night. And also you can warn people, they can hear you when you start trembling.
Yes, I like that. This is a good idea.
If you are a part-time gun carrier then I guess you can get away with, I'm gonna put the gun on to leave the house and put my jacket on, but now you're committed to always having that jacket on because otherwise your gun isn't concealed. Those are different lifestyle choices that you need to make. You need to decide what kind of gun carrier you are. Are you a full-time gun carrier or a part-time gun carrier?
He self-identifies as a full-time gun-carrying man. If he leaves the house in a jacket, he's wearing that jacket until it's sleep time.
Yes. I do understand that. Like, if I had a gun underneath me, under my jacket, I wouldn't want to take my jacket.
Oh, because it's illegal.
Because people would know I had a gun.
And they'd be like, who is this freak?
Yeah, but also it will change your interaction with everyone around you. If I was doing a suicide bombing and I was covered in a bomb, and then someone just stopped for a random conversation, you'd be like, yep, going well. Don't have a bomb on me. Be like, imagine carrying a gun on you at all times. Be like,
I'm just making a deposit at the bank. This is normal.
Nice to meet you.
If you're a part-time gun carrier, you're constantly problem-solving stuff throughout the day of, oh, what am I wearing here? What am I wearing there? Oh, now I'm in a situation that I'm inside for the next 2 hours and I have my puffy coat on and I'm hot and I'm sweaty and I'm uncomfortable.
If you wear a jacket indoors and refuse to take it off for whatever reason, you're going to be sweaty and uncomfortable. Like, that doesn't matter whether you're part-time or full-time. You shouldn't be wearing too many clothes.
One of the considerations that I think of for most of my jackets is I want a double zipper and I want the bottom zipper because I need to be able to unzip this enough that I can access the gun.
Why is that something you think about? I feel like he's a man-child. Like, he talks about how he's, ready to take a life and he's so serious. This is child behavior. Setting up all your clothes so you can have your Harry Potter wand accessible at all times.
But also, he hasn't even gone far enough. Like, if I
hasn't killed someone.
Well, he might have.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're designing clothes to shoot a gun as quickly as possible, it's very normal to walk around with your hands in your pocket. You just have a hole in your back of your pocket. You can just reach your gun out, so you don't have to go.
Yeah.
You just be like this. You didn't think of that.
Or habits here.
In California, you need to be a full-time carrier if you have a concealed carry permit. You need to establish a pattern that shows you didn't bring a gun to a particular incident just to shoot someone at said incident, but defended yourself with something you constantly have on you in a situation you didn't predict. What the fuck? Is America that dangerous? Where you have to carry a gun when you're outside your house? No, you want to know what the ironic situation is? It's not. But there are guys like this running around, so I guess maybe it is. Like, the irony is America is becoming more dangerous because of this guy, because of the guys that are running around apparently concealed carrying full time. Yeah. That's what makes America dangerous, not the fact that there is some hypothetical crime that might take place, which is why you always have to stay gadded up.
The gun's mounted in your pants but constantly pointing forward. So you just have to face the person.
That's
and then you have a little trigger from your sleeve that you just flick.
Or bloody shoe gun. You stomp hard. Shoe gun.
The whole purpose of wearing a jacket is you might go outside, right?
The whole purpose of wearing a jacket is that you might go outside.
I did not fucking realize.
I thought the rain jacket was like a bedtime thing.
I thought it was for use in the shower.
Yeah, because it's wet.
It's wet. That's why I've been wearing my rain jacket. Fucking idiot.
I'm so glad I watched this video.
Yeah, wow.
If you have a gun and you're watching this and you're learning things from this video, I think it's just the scariest thing that's ever happened. If you have the power to kill someone in a split second and you
Do you deny that carrying a gun has some amount of utility in an area with high amounts of gun crime and violence? Obviously not the suburbs, but in like south side of Chicago or something. Yes, I do deny it. Because the reality of the matter is, if you're constantly carrying a gun in the south side of Chicago or something, you are more likely to either A, accidentally shoot yourself with it, which happens all the fucking time, B, get into an altercation where you lose your gun, which also happens all the time, or C, have your gun stolen from you, which also happens all the fucking time. When you are constantly armed, you have an infinitely higher likelihood of shooting yourself with that weapon than shooting another person. You can also, the D part of it is also someone shoots you because you have a gun. Another person that is also incredibly paranoid, that has a gun on them, sees that you have a gun on you and shoots you.
You don't know that shoes are for outside the house and slippers are for inside.
Amazing.
So an important
It's really hard to shoot yourself with a gun. That's really crazy because it happens so fucking much, actually. It happens all the goddamn time, as a matter of fact. It's even more common than having your, by idiots. Yeah, I was going to say, it's even more common than someone else by mistake shooting you or an accidental discharge. You food soldiers are so stupid. I know you're not going to read this, so I'm just using this as an example. You are a gross human being and literally sit all day making money off of others' content, reacting, but you can't even react or take criticism when it's directly about you. And it's not why you say, it's because you're afraid of your audience hearing it and no, you can't defend yourself. I think this is the funniest narrative that like an audience of people that exclusively come here to learn about politics is going to be fucking duped by Ethan Klein's video being like 900,000 Jews were forcibly displaced during the Nakba, which is a smaller number, which by the way wasn't the Nakba, but instead was just simply a war. Yeah. Why don't you issue one of these criticisms that you have heard in the chat and I will address it. Banger gun stat. California's living with handgun owners more than twice as likely to die by homicide. Residents who don't own a handgun but live with someone who does are significantly more likely to die by homicide compared to those in gun-free homes, research shows. I love that though. Like these people unironically are too stupid to think that like a drama slop tubers video is going to convince a decent number of people in here. Like that's the reason why I've avoided it. If that's the case, why the fuck won't Ethan debate me in person? Like, there's no answer to this question. It's like, I've said I would watch it with him if necessary. You know what I mean? And they just have, they go, oh, well, it's because he put forward a totally normal condition that you have to actually watch the context nuke beforehand, which he now no longer has as a precondition, apparently. Yeah. Slop tubers are going to, are destroying my political opinions despite not knowing a single damn thing about politics or any of the things I talk about or history. You should really consider allowing only verified accounts to chat in here, man. It's time for another meat gate. It's been too long. Let's be real. Fake socialist is privatizing the meat. Why are you ignoring my comment? This person. I can't believe you're that horrible of a guy. Those things you did are so bad. I just genuinely cannot believe someone of your stature is just so, can't believe this guy is this way. You're so disgusting. You need to step back and understand who you are as a person. Weird as hell. For real, for real. Can't believe those things you did. Serious. This person is memeing, by the way. I don't think they're being serious. They're making a joke about the quote unquote criticisms that I receive. You're a bad guy. You're a very bad guy. I can't really remember exactly what the YouTube video that I watched while, playing fucking Hearthstone on my phone, what the video actually said. but it left me with like really bad vibes, and it left me with such bad vibes that I have firmly held convictions against you. I just really don't know why I feel that way. I was playing Balatro. I was playing Balatro on my phone while I watched the dumbest guy on the planet make a YouTube video about you after reading a bunch of subreddit comments. But it left me feeling like you're a bad dude. How do you feel about Al Gore presidency? Too little, too late. Okay. We're multiple decades past that point.
Aspect of your clothing and of your gear carrying setup is going to be your belt, because it is the thing that basically holds everything up. This is a pretty thick gun belt. This is a Magpul Tejas belt. This is a great belt that works really well.
That is just a normal belt.
That is a belt.
Gunmen being convinced that there's a special thing here. It looks like a belt a Lego man would wear. Like, it's completely the most average belt in the world.
I think consistently belts are the things you can buy that even when you buy the cheapest ones, they usually still work. You know, like a shoe will fall apart if you get a $20 shoe. Yeah. You get a $5 belt.
Oh, I've had some pretty shit belts, but I was a fat kid. So like, as I'm putting it through the test.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
An important part of belts isn't just how they're designed, but you got to use them right.
Most important part of belt. Okay, I understand. This is like...
He's shot himself in the head. He's accidentally shot himself in the head, and now he has to work out how to stop doing that.
The tighter the belt, the more comfortable the gun will be, and the more concealable the gun will be. However, you could tighten the belt so tight that the belt is uncomfortable. You want to find that balance of tightening as much as you can for comfort and concealability.
What the fuck is this? You might find when you're putting a belt on that if you tighten it too much, it hurts you. Stop doing that. Who is this gun wielding?
Yep, ready to go.
I actually don't understand who the audience is for this. Who's this person needs to be told to stop tightening their belt when it starts to hurt them?
Typically, I wear 511 Defender Flex jeans. They just look like normal jeans. They don't look like tactical jeans or tactical pants. What I like about them is that they are stretchy, and then they also have the hip pockets. And so I find the hip pockets to be kind of the magic pocket. So this may sound like a lot, and that's because...
Wait, he didn't explain that at all. I kind of find the hip pockets are magic pockets. I was like, oh.
What has he brought forward that is even remotely tactical? Like, who needed this? Who needed any of this? It's mostly just his own merch. He's just describing. He is describing the basics of wearing jeans. Jeans that have back pockets.
Okay, what is he talking about? That's normal.
And then what? Listen to his summary.
So this may sound like a lot, and that's because it is.
None of that was a lot until you said magic pockets and then didn't explain it. You explained what a belt is, what pants are, when to wear a jumper.
And different shirt materials.
For 15 fucking minutes.
But what you need to do first is ask the question, are you committed to carrying a gun every day? If you're committed to carrying a gun every day, then you're going to make the lifestyle changes necessary.
If there are this many rules to wearing clothes.
Americans are so funny because this is like a QVC video, but for guns. And outfits that are tailored around like having a gun on you at all times. God, we're such a weird country, dude. Oh, 511 tactical is a gear. I know. I have my bag that has the press sticker on it is a 511 tactical bag that I've had for almost 15 years at this point. It's fine. It held up, you know. I feel like their quality used to be higher back in the day.
Clothes. If it's this complicated, you spend 25 years working this out? No.
No, but all it is a macro decision. And then that solves all these micro decisions in your life.
Yes.
If you make one macro decision, which he has taught you how to do, then it's just utility maximization. You've solved your whole life.
Done.
By deciding you're always ready to kill.
You're going to decide what gun are you going to carry? What holster are you going to carry? What belt are you going to use? And then what other clothing do you need to wear, or do you need to buy, or do you need to get rid of that supports that decision?
It's just such consumerist bullshit though. I feel like if I had a gun, it would solve a lot of problems, that you'd be less kind of reliant on the rest of society. The fact that you buy a gun and then you're like, oh, I gotta throw away my clothes and then buy stuff from this like special gun clothes store. It's just like, you're a cuck.
You're a cuck. And also, once you have a gun, you don't have to buy anything ever again.
You just walk in and ask for it. They give it to you.
I thought that was the point of having a gun.
Yeah.
Of all the gun channels I watch on YouTube, this one has taught me the most about everything around conceal and carry. Doesn't even try to sell me stuff. That was his own product. Tenorcore is his shop.
I love how dumb these men are. Wow, you taught me so much about shirt and belt. I'm so glad you're just a random guy not selling me things. This man should not have the right to decide who lives and dies. That's crazy. I found a company on YouTube when I couldn't sleep. I was on night shift guarding my house because everyone's attacking always. I've ordered 2 holsters since then, same day. This guy has insomnia and he's like, how can I kill better? Dude, you need help. You should not be on this YouTube channel. You need some therapy, you need some sleep, not 2 holsters in the middle of the night.
That was a horrible video, and we learned. I'm not even lying. I knew absolutely all of that. That's the most obvious information.
But it's not just knowing it before. It's the kind of information that you don't need to think about.
No, I'm saying I know what a belt is.
An important part of belts.
It's just like background info that your mind doesn't even address because it's so straightforward. I would die drinking a glass of water if my brain had to think about tightening a belt too hard. There's no way you'll survive. You can't cross the street if you're just tightening your belt until.
The real question, does he sell dusters? That's what I'm saying. That's what I was looking forward to. I wanted to hear like how he was going to explain how you can hide your hacksawed shotgun. You know what I mean? Like the duster is the real tactical gear, you know? It's not just tactical, it's also cool in general. If I was a gun guy, I'd probably walk around with dusters all the time. Really get into the mood, you know?
Until it hurts, and not knowing how to fix this attack that's happened to you.
I love that this man has a gun.
Well, I think that's the issue with this video. At the end of the day, it just makes me so scared to be in America. People who find this informative are out there deciding whether or not they should kill you. I don't know. I think
You're just the dumbest man in the world.
You know, one really good use for guns.
Yeah.
Is that you can use it to get the audience to subscribe to our Patreon.
How?
So if I go like this and I'm just like, I'm gonna shoot Alex in the head.
Wait, no,
I'm
please,
gonna kill him.
No,
I'm gonna shoot him in the head.
Wait, please,
shut up. I'm gonna shoot him in.
I don't think they real. I'm surprised that they got this cleared from YouTube. It's crazy. Sawed-off shotty on the one side, sawed-off AK on the other. Can you even saw off a AK? Sponsored video, by the way, true. Did you know a Romanian M90 Parka can easily conceal a Mossberg 590? Chinese cars are different.
Oh, look at that.
And then
Controversial opinion I have is that I don't really care for a lot of these bells and whistles personally in cars, and China is all about it.
Oh!
And then I wonder like how you scroll. There's a camera here too.
The Chinese market loves this shit, dude. They love this shit. They love their little gadgets and gizmos in their cars. The bells and whistles wouldn't matter in America because you can't sit in your car anywhere anyway. What's the point of being into guns if you're not walking around like Desperado? I agree. I have seen Slate trucks. I'm not entirely certain. It's Jeff Bezos pumped, by the way. It's a bunch of VC guys that, like a bunch of Silicon Valley guys that have gotten into it. I am very familiar with it. I've seen a lot of the TikTok ads. I love that it's a what's it called? Like a single cab. It is basically the size of like a Toyota Hilux from the 80s, from the 90s. And I think it's very cool. Problem is, here, I'll tell you some of the cool stuff. Modular car building, awesome. Okay. Bit of a recession indicator, I think, but also kind of cool. Like, I was talking to my brother about this and he was saying, like, modular cars are super popular in India. I don't know if that's the case at all, or maybe he just made it up, but I do like the modular car build. Okay. What is modular? For those of you who are asking, like, this car can just as easily turn into a two-seater. Like, they just bust the see, that car can turn into this with like one module that they add. So major issues with the car is like 150 to 185 mile range. These are EVs. The average daily driver uses like maxes their commute out at like 40 miles, I believe. So barring some other places that you might need to go for longer distances, like this is perfectly fine. But again, there's not a lot of a there isn't a robust electric charger infrastructure in this country. Tow capacity of a current day Ford Mustang, whatever, dude. That doesn't matter. The 20K option literally doesn't even have a stereo in the car. So, I don't know. I like it. I like it as a concept. Think American K-Truck. I love that. What's crazy is that like Japan has smaller K-Truck Toyota trucks that they are not allowed to sell in the United States of America. And those shits are like 10 grand. So, and they're better than this. And they're not an EV. And they got fucking stereos in it for 10 grand. But I'm not going to immediately shit on it. I think it's cool. I'm glad. Any initiative that tries to sell smaller. Wait, BYD just launched a Black Myth Wukong EV for 200K or 20K? Oh my God. Oh my God. That looks so nasty. Oof. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm in favor of any kind of small off-roader / truck. So it's cool. Yeah, I didn't like the paint job, but I do like the mods. Tilo was founded by two co-founders from Tesla. The truck is the size of a Mini Cooper, yet still fits a 4x8 piece of plywood and seats up to 8. Yeah, I was going to say, the biggest lie ever told in the United States of America is that the trucks have to be big. They do not have to be big. They do not have to be big at all. This truck can literally haul the same type of shit that those massive trucks can haul. It has the same bed. It has the same bed size. Like it's ridiculous. And like when you think about the Ford Maverick or whatever, or the smaller versions that are coming out now, it's like the Ford Maverick itself is still fairly large in comparison to trucks elsewhere. More on the Tilo truck.
What the heck is this?
Wait, this is something.
So this company's from America, and they're called Tello. And this little red truck is called the MT-1. This was inspired by Japanese K-trucks, so it's really small, and it even has a 5-foot bed on something the same size as a Mini Cooper. In the back, I have built-in power and a railing system, but watch this. Now on top of my 5-foot bed, I can fold down a mid-gate to give me an 8-foot bed. And if I push this little black button right here, that gives me access to the gear tunnel. In the back, you can fit 1, 2, 3 people across, but only in a pinch. And my feet have plenty of room because the seat has a floating design. Inside, you get this giant glass roof, these fabric seats that may be heated or ventilated. I don't know, it's still a prototype. But I do get storage space here, a cup holder, this awesome looking touchscreen, and this awesome digital display.
Yeah, this car is like 40 grand. That's crazy. That's crazy that this vehicle that we're looking at that looks like a go-kart is still 40 grand.
This will get an estimated 350 miles. This comes standard with a Tesla plug. It can tow 6,600 pounds and, oh yeah, it makes 500 horsepower. What the heck is this?
What? Unc, what's your opinion on this discourse? Yeah, the 100 dudes versus 100 men versus one gorilla is the poppin' Twitter discourse, and I have no answer for it. I'm too tired. I don't know why. I know why. I played way too much basketball this morning. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna do I'm doing a full official half day today with the 5-hour and 30-minute chat. I'll be back tomorrow. I love you all, but I am way too fucking tired. I'm gonna hang out with my mom. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. Better not be late tomorrow. You're scamming us. Okay, everybody calm down. Sundays are extra anyway. Normally I should be taking Sundays off, you know what I mean? Anyway, peace everybody. Love you all. And I will see you tomorrow. Leftists don't want to work no more. You already know. New York Times article came out, changed me. I'm thinking I don't need to work as much. All right, bye-bye.
Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. Review in the P.O. box. Uncle Uger's face. Sudden Discord active prop. Great names take on breaks. Tiny Bernie Sanders, LGBTQ Air Force. The whole left at your fingertips, Ane at your door. The H3 crowded debate, the Young Turks online show. 3 full fucking years of this. Plenty more to go. 90-day fiance talks of champagne bourgeoisie. A Trump rally live reaction on mass riot at DC. There he is again, Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. There he is again. Hasan is streaming. Hasan is streaming. Reading a live stream And all the ways the right wing pipeline can suck you in alive. JCS react, Lord, frame gets broken, cover blown. A full-blown mass pandemic, monster streaming at your home. Total radicalization coming out to find. The system you were taught to trust in was broken the whole time. All these daily streams, whether big or whether small, have helped me and so many find the meaning through it all. There is again Hasan is streaming, Hasan is streaming. There he is again, Hasan is streaming, Hasan is streaming.